Tonight on the South Today, Invercargill gets a new chief executive. He's a former auditor, but he reckons it's not all about the numbers. Queenstown Airport is once again bustling with tourists, and the extra business heralds good news for shareholders. And the party continues for Otago University students, but the O-Week laundry will be piling up due to wet weather. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Invercargill City Council appointed a new chief executive this week, and the newly promoted leader reckons his unique background means he's more than up to the task. Incoming Chief Michael Day admits the city hasn't always had a clear sense of direction, but he feels his family's background in the funeral directing business has given him a strong sense of community. He's spent time as an auditor and has been working for the city as a finance and assurance group officer, although he says the new role comes with a renewed sense of focus.
It became more than about the numbers for me. It was all about connecting with providing those services and actually reminding myself every single day, which I still do today, is that I'm coming to the organisation, arriving for the day to serve the people of the city.
Nobby, that's the Mayor, Nobby Clark, looks forward to working with the new CEO and says the council will now undergo a transition period before standing up the team. A quick emergency call from a neighbour wasn't enough to stop a fast-moving house fire from destroying a home in Palmerston yesterday.
The blaze broke out on Stronsa Street in the early afternoon. Smoke alarms alerted neighbours who called emergency services. 5 crews from around the region battled the flames, but the house was not able to be saved.
And we managed to knock the fire down reasonably quickly, but as you can see, the house unfortunately is a write-off, and one half is completely burnt out, the other half has got a huge amount of smoke damage.
Emergency services confirmed the occupants were not home when the house was destroyed, but locals at the scene reported that 2 family pets were killed in the blaze. In Palmerston, the South Today.
The return of tourists is being welcomed by many operators across central Otago after a few difficult years. It's also been boom time at Queenstown Airport, which is preparing to pay its biggest ever dividend to the local council.
It's a busy airport now that tourists are back in the country. And the bustling Queenstown Airport is not only getting people to and from their holiday destinations, it's also giving back to local residents. Queenstown Airport has announced the largest dividend payout in its history, of almost $6 million. That will mean $4.5 million going to its largest shareholder, the Queenstown Lakes District Council, which Airport CEO Glenn Sowry says equates to $300 for every ratepayer.
And so that gives us the opportunity to pay our shareholders, which of course is the majority owned by the local council, QLDC, the strongest ever interim dividend we've paid in the airport's history.
Auckland International Airport owns the other quarter of the business. The big payout comes after Queenstown Airport's board of directors decided to pay out 70% of net profits in dividend ends back to their shareholders. Sowry says the healthy result is thanks to a strong bounce back for international tourism in the resort town, including demand from Australians coming here for ski holidays.
So what we've seen is a really strong recovery post-COVID. We've seen particularly strong passenger numbers out of Australia, which is very encouraging.
And while domestic flights are taking longer to bounce back, both Air New Zealand and Jetstar have solid flight schedules leading into the winter season. Sowry's forecasting that it will allow the airport company to double the dividend ends it pays to shareholders at the end of the financial year. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A Dunedin man has paid tribute to those suffering in Ukraine by creating a military-inspired work of art with a message of hope.
This blue and yellow creation isn't the kind of hedgehog that sits around in your garden, it's the type that stops tanks. Creator Laurie Forbes was inspired to create the tribute after seeing thousands of similar installations dotted around Ukraine, with a place to help keep Russian guns at bay. The artwork is painted with the country's colours, with both sides plastered with inspirational quotes. One side reads, "Liberty is not sold for all the gold in the world," with the other side imprinted with a popular Ukrainian saying.
And it says Slava Ukraini, which is glory to Ukraine, which is something that Ukrainian people say to each other and have done so for 100 years.
He started the project last month and has finished it just in time for the anniversary of the invasion tomorrow. The hedgehog will be on display in Vogel Street until it is sold at auction, with all proceeds going to the Red Cross in Ukraine. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Dunedin downpour wasn't enough to deter first-year students away from a big night of partying. The infamous Toga Party made its return yesterday with a change-up in venue and safety measures put in place to ensure everyone had a good time.
Freshers flooding into the Union Hall grounds, buzzing with anticipation and eager to kick off their Roman-themed party. The Otago University Students Association and partygoers were excited yesterday for the return of the Toga Party and didn't let the rain dampen their mood. The O-Week event was held on the Union Hall lawn for the first time, hosting a two-stage setup with an inside option for those who didn't want to get too wet.
It means people can mix and mingle, go inside if they want to avoid the cold, stay out here, different bands, different vibes, can cruise around and it's a bit more of a festival.
Lots of security was on hand for the event, along with student volunteer groups. OUSA's Are You OK were around to help the students whose nights weren't going the way they had hoped.
Help you get home if you need to go home, provide you with food, water, comfy place to sit. It's, lots of support. It's here to provide a safe environment for students to enjoy themselves when they get back to uni.
Last night kicked off the headline Ori 23 concert series that will continue on into the weekend. Now students will need to brush off their hangovers, with international DJ Netsky set to play tonight. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whai Akane, still to come on the South Today. A group of Star Wars mega fans bring joy to Christchurch City, and plane and train spotters head to Mandeville for the annual fly-in, with one getting a bit more than they'd bargained for.
The big one! My Mate John's massive annual sale ends soon. John's taken 25 to 75% off everything. And when John has a sale, you know it's a real sale. No one has more options. No one beats John on price. The big one! 25 to 75% off. Bring the ute, grab a trailer. John's got it in stock and ready to go.
Get that furniture from Stafford Street and My Mate John.
We're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including intervals.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with zero deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Well, from Christchurch, here's some positive news. Bad guys are doing good. The local branch of Star Wars fan group love dressing up as some of the franchise's most famous villains, but they're aiming to do more than just frighten the community.
Star Wars is a global phenomenon, with the space epic franchise entertaining and inspiring millions of fans around the world. Following the original movie trilogy, there's been a host of spin-offs, from prequel and sequel movies, TV shows, books, video games and merchandise. Die-hard fans also have a focus on their favourite characters, both the good and the bad.
Darth Vader is the quintessential bad guy. He is the piece of Star Wars that anybody recognises. And so I really wanted to bring that to life for little kids through to full-on adults, just to say, hey, I know who that is, that's cool.
Outpost 42 is New Zealand's garrison of the 501st Legion. It's an international costuming organisation run by fans, celebrating and portraying some of the villainous and morally ambiguous non-partisan characters from Star Wars.
They have the coolest costumes, like Darth Vader, a stormtrooper, instantly recognisable, you know. Some of the bad guys definitely wear it best.
Members of the group reckon wearing the fantasy gear has its benefits.
It's pretty good. It's pretty spectacular to sort of hide yourself away, but be amongst people that appreciate what you're doing and like the characters.
And while these fans might like playing the bad, they say most Star Wars fan clubs like to do some good in the community. Many take part in events to raise money for charity projects, including this recent effort supporting the Child Cancer Foundation.
The charity part of this whole thing make me feel I'm literally doing something meaningful and enjoyable in something we truly love.
Proud to live by the club's motto, bad guys doing good. In Christchurch, the South Today.
The annual Mandeville Fly-In saw hundreds of people turn out to enjoy the planes and locomotives recently. And one enthusiast was finally able to fly his own aircraft after years of work.
Around 30 aeroplanes soared in as part of the annual Fly-In at the Mandeville Airfield at the weekend, alongside demonstrations by the Southland Steam Engine Club. Visitors could admire the range of classic aircrafts and also enjoy a cruise in a carriage pulled by a Rogers K92 locomotive. Craig Dowden's been attending the event for years and was delighted to finally be able to fly in with his own aeroplane. It took him 10 years to fully restore the Yeoman Cropmaster plane.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a great experience to, jump in an airplane that you pretty much know inside out now, because I've pretty much replaced or taken apart and cleaned, repaired just about every component in the whole aircraft.
More than 500 people came through on a sunny Sunday afternoon to enjoy the range of machinery on display. Fly-In organiser Maeve Smith was very happy with how the day went and says it was as good of a day as they've ever had. In Gore, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Invercargill has found a new chief executive to lead the council, and he's promised a renewed focus on service. Queenstown Airport announced a bumper dividend to shareholders off the back of a tourist-led rebound. And Otago University students braved the wet weather to kick up their heels at a mud-splattered outdoor toga party. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor, Barry Stewart. Hello, Barry.
Hello.
What do we have in the paper tomorrow?
Well, talking of orientation events, there was a overcrowded party in Dunedin last night, and one of the students that attended said that it could easily have ended in tragedy. So it was shut down by the police, so a bit of drama there. Construction of the Otago Regional Council's new headquarters, which is a refurbishment of the old warehouse building, is set to begin in the middle of this year, we hear.
Okay.
And Southern Councils are gathering together to calling on their communities to raise funds for the cyclone hit their northern counterparts. So each of the councils are fundraising for a council up there. So there's a whole range of other fundraising activities happening there. So that's pretty exciting from the south. And big sporting weekend. The Highlanders kick off on Saturday against the Blues. I was going to say that. But also ahead of the New Zealand Open at Millbrook, and we have a chat to Mahal Pearce, who 20 years ago won the event as an unheralded professional golfer. So Hayden Meikle talks to Mahal about that event, that win, and what it's meant to him, and everything else. So nice wee story.
Oh, we look forward to reading all those stories in the paper. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, well, this cold southeasterly airflow will die out tomorrow with a ridge of high pressure set to bring mostly fine weather through the weekend. Heading to the top of the South Island. Fresh easterlies with a spot of cloud and 18 up in Nelson tomorrow. Over to Greymouth, it'll be fine with 23 degrees. Christchurch, well, you can expect those showers to clear after lunch and the southeasterlies to pass. A cool high, though, of 15 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Windy with southwesterlies up in Ashburton, cloudy in Timaru, and northeasterlies blow through Awamaru, with all three spots heading for a high of 15 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Fine with light winds as we come over here. Wanaka and Alex can both expect a high of 19 degrees, with Queenstown just behind on 18 tomorrow. Heading further south, it's looking like a lovely clear day through here to wrap up the working week, with 19 in Balclutha, 18 in Gore, and cooler with 15 and nor'easterlies over on the coast. And down to the deep south, becoming fine tonight in Invercargill, but it will be cold tonight, dropping to 3 degrees, and then potentially a spanner in the works with a frost possible by morning. Tomorrow it's looking mostly fine and sunny with light winds, and up to 18 is the high. And then into the weekend, Saturday will be sunny with 22, northerlies and high cloud. And finally heading to Dunedin. Showers clearing tonight, dropping down to 8 degrees overnight. Tomorrow should be more or less dry with southerlies before a nor'easterly change. The high will be 15 degrees. And then it's the weekend, so back into that fine sunny weather that we love, with breezy nor'east winds, along with that warmer high of 18 degrees. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o popo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.